Diane in Denmark here, rah, 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 hooray, hooray, hooray. It is Wednesday. Two things for you today. First of all, it's Anti-Procrastination Day if you're following the Flylady daily focus. Now remember, the daily focus is just having certain days or a certain order for doing things, which works very well because in one way it stops us from forgetting things, and on the other side it also stops us panicking about what we're supposed to be doing next. We just need to concentrate on what is the next task at hand. So for example, you have your weekly home blessing hour day, or maybe split that over the week. Tuesday, plan and play day, where you look ahead to see what's coming up, plan ahead, because remember, a wee bit of planning ahead saves so much last minute stress. Anyway, today, excuse me, I've always got a frog in my throat. Wednesday is Anti-Procrastination Day, and that's the day that you may want to start a little running list in your control journal. All those little tasks that you've kind of been putting off, you think it's going to take too long, or more often than not, you just don't want to do it. Things like perhaps scheduling a dentist appointment, filing those tax papers, actually looking at your bank statements. So just set your timer for 5 or 10 minutes today and knock a few things off that list. I don't actually have any anti-procrastination tasks to do today. And I almost had one, but for example, I was supposed to be getting my hair cut next week, but I've moved it up to this week because one day I'm feeling like Thoroughly Modern Millie, and then the next day I'm feeling like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. My hair grows really fast in the summer, so I've brought that forward. So that was a little anti-procrastination thing for me. I was thinking, oh, should I move it forward? I've moved the appointment forward, and I'm going to feel better once I get my hair cut. Anyway, Anti-Procrastination Day. And the other thing is I wanted to have a wee quick question and answer session today, because I always get tons of great questions both here on YouTube and also on Instagram. Remember, I'm also posting on Instagram, and on Instagram that's where you'll see me posting shiny sink picture, outfit for the day, so you'll be able to tell what the weather like is in Denmark for the next day, because I always usually post my outfit for the day. And also Instagram is where I add a little bit more extra things like fun words in Danish and just life in the village here. So anyway, if you're on Instagram, try and find us. The hashtag is Diane in Denmark, and that also is a way for us to be able to see each other. And also you're posting your shiny sink or what's for dinner, so it's a really nice little community. Anyway, on to the questions. And let me see, oh yeah, I had a question from Diane, and I think Diane is Danish. And she asked this a couple of weeks ago, I think, on Instagram. She asked about the Flylady Zones in relation to the kids' bedrooms, and this is a question which does come up a lot. What do you do? Do you clean and declutter kids' bedrooms as part of Zone 3, which is the bathroom plus one other zone? Or do you put them into another zone, or do you do it when it's a master bedroom zone? It all depends on your kids, how old they are, how much responsibility they have, whether perhaps they're sharing a room. Figure out how often the room needs done and add it to your zone work. Now you'll need to decide yourself if you can add it. For example, my kids have been doing their own rooms for years, and sometimes I will come and inspect what they've done, or just say to them, maybe you need to do something. But my kids are teens now, and they've been handling their own rooms for years. Also, that's why you will never see them on my videos. They do their own stuff, and I don't share my kids' things. I like to give them a bit of privacy. If you've got very small kids, they will obviously need some guidance, but again, use that timer, because often when we're doing stuff with the kids, we kind of, we want to do the Flylady stuff, and we can see it's working for us. And then we kind of ram it down their throats and say, oh, we're going to reorganize your room and declutter all your stuff, and or reorganize everything that's in your wardrobe. You've got to break it down into sizable chunks. If you're going to be doing cleaning or decluttering with your kids, please set your timer just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and then leave it at that. If you want, perhaps do another session in the afternoon or in the evening, but don't ram it down their throats. They have a short attention span, and also you want to make it a positive thing for them. You don't want them to be saying, oh, here comes mum with that Flylady stuff, and oh, she's never out of my hair. Make it a fun thing for them, and you know yourself, if you just do 5 or 10 minutes every day, it can make a huge difference. If your kids are a wee bit older, you can give them a chore chart, either with pictures, and they can kind of cross off that they've, with their routines, that, they've brushed their teeth or picked up everything from the floor before they go to bed, that kind of thing. If they're a wee bit older, if they're at school, on the Flylady website, there's that really good control journal for kids. And don't you go filling it out, Mum, you leave it to the kids. It's called Student Control Journal, and it basically gives them a list, a bit like the Daily Focus for Monday through Sunday, and can put in their own framework. So anyway, I'll put a link to the Flylady website below, but it's called the Student Control Journal. So that was it for you, Diane. I hope that was helpful. I get an awful lot of questions on how much time I spend on daily exercise. Now, we did this challenge in May, the whole month of May. We're doing that Flylady Moving in May. And my thoughts on daily exercise, because I also get questions about how much time I spend when you see me going down for my skinny dip. Yes, it's naked swimming, it's winter bathing calls in Denmark. For me, I don't go to the gym, but I know I'm 52, and I know I get problems with my back if I'm not regularly moving. So for me, my daily exercise is not me time, well, it is me time, but it's also self-preservation time. So what my daily exercise usually involves is I'm on my bike all year round, you know that. All year round we are swimming in the sea, and it depends on the temperature or the conditions how long we're actually in the sea. My bike ride takes, say, 10 to 12 minutes depending on current weather situations, and we are in the water. It depends how much time we've got. We don't have a set time for doing it every day. Myself, my besties, Vibeke and Helena, we coordinate. Whoever's, if Helena's got a day off, she normally has one day a week where she has the day off. And then we fit it in to suit her. Otherwise, we meet for breakfast. We combine it with breakfast down there, or lunch, during the lunch hour. So it changes every week and basically every day. But I'm down for my skinny dip usually most days, Monday to Friday, every day or every other day. Not generally the weekends, because the weekends I'm with the family. So my daily exercise is cycling down, having a swim, and then cycling back. That can take, it can be as short as, say, something like 35 minutes, which is ideal. The recommendations are 30 minutes of exercise every day. If we've got longer, we can spend longer on it. My other exercise, if I'm not down for my skinny dip, and I'm not down, if I'm not biking a lot during the day, usually I'm biking quite a lot because that's how we do it, grocery, run, most things. If I'm not biking, then I get in a run. You've seen that, if you've seen me on Instagram, I post, I don't post every time I've done a run now because it would be spamming with posts, but I set my timer for 7 minutes on my smartphone. I've got my running gear on. I just quickly change into my running gear. I head out the door, and when the 7 minutes goes off on my timer, I turn around and head back home. And then I might have a quick top and tail wash, just with the wee handheld shower, get my clothes on. So again, it's less than 30 minutes. So that works for me. You have to decide how much time you want to spend on it, whether you do it before the kids get up, whether you do it on your way home from work. I no longer go to the gym. I found that it was an awful lot of time spending driving to the gym and then waiting for the class to start. And I quite enjoyed the classes, but the thing was I really didn't enjoy the music. And you know me, I love my music. I like to have my own music. So for me, it's cheaper and easier just to put on my headset and I can listen to my own good music and run locally. So that works for me. So think about what works for you. You may, in order to keep you accountable with it, meet up with a friend and go for a hike in the canyon, or maybe you meet up with a friend at the shopping mall and you want to do a little power walk. My mum, who's 84 now, my mum has a regular appointment with her walking buddies, and they walk to the nearest village, and then they do a wee bit of shopping, have a cake, and then they walk home again. So, you know, everybody really benefits from having their little routines, and it would really keep you accountable. So on to another one. Oh yeah, I had a question about our lovebirds, Tweet and Sparky. If you want to see Tweet and Sparky, I sometimes post about them on Instagram. They've got their own hashtag, Tweet and Sparky. Somebody asked what we do with them, you know, when we're away in our weekend cabin. They look after themselves. So they have a big voliere, and we leave them enough seed and water for them to last weekend. And if we're away for longer periods of time, our neighbours, wee boys, they like to look after the birds, so they come and look after them. Oh, on which note, I know a lot of you are coming up for vacation time and you get this overwhelmed feeling. If you go to flylady.net, there's a really good section on vacations. And not just what to pack, you know, the usual thing, like remember your charger, tickets, you know, clean underwear for the whole family. Also, you know, on leading up to the vacation, you know, letting the neighbours know that you're going to be on holiday, asking them to take in the post, looking after your dog or your cat. So if you haven't done that yet, go and look at that. I'll probably do another video next week about preparing for vacation. What else? Oh yeah, and oh, I'm going to have to get going soon. I really want to keep it to the 15 minutes. You know, I hate going over the 15 minutes. I promised to check in with you again about what I'm reading and what I'm enjoying on the TV. Now, I've just finished The Woman, was it called The Woman Blue? Yeah, the Ellie Griffiths book. That was one of my favourites in the series about Ruth, the archaeologist detective. So The Woman in Blue, that was really good, 4 stars out of 5. And then last night, if you saw on Instagram, I started reading this one. Now this was recommended by my friend Sue. I've got a friend Sue in the States, a virtual friend. I've known her for years, and she ran a bookshop, and she is a librarian, and she also has a book blog. She reads slightly different style from me, but I'll put a link below to Sue's book blog, because I know a lot of us love books. Anyway, she had recommended this one. It's called Something Else in the States, but the author is Laura Purcell. I started it last night and I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I read like 100 pages last night, so that seems like it's going to be good. It's something a bit different for me. It's a gothic kind of crime thing, so it's kind of, oh dear, all the sorrows. So anyway, but it's you may want to check that out. I managed to find it at our local library, because you know our local library is fantastic. I get all our books from the library. Also the Ellie Griffiths one, I got that as an ebook from our library. Oh, and on television tonight on Netflix is Stranger Things. Woohoo! Because remember it's starting 4th of July. Oh, 4th of July to happy 4th of July to all those of you celebrating. And the other thing I was going to mention, oh yeah, there's a new film out, movie. We always call it films. This week, which is the Spider-Man one. Now, you know, I'm kind of mourning the loss of Iron Man, but my second favourite Marvel character is Spider-Man. You know, I love Iron Man. The new Spider-Man I really like. I'm not so keen on the old ones who played Spider-Man, but I really like the new guy who's playing Spider-Man. And who's another? Oh, I was going to say Wonder Woman, but I really didn't like the film of Wonder Woman. Sorry, but I really didn't like that movie. I thought it was dreadful. Give me the old TV series with Diane, much better. Anyway, I think that was it. So listen, make sure after, because I know a lot of you are falling for the Flylady stuff and want to really get into the cleaning, detailed decluttering. Please make sure that you're getting at least some daily exercise, even if it's just 5 minutes walk around the block, or getting some me time, sitting down with a book, cup of coffee, glossy magazine, a wee bit of knitting, crochet, you know, heavy metal music, whatever floats your boat. Because if you don't do the self-preservation thing, the rest of it, you're never going to get into the swing of things. You've really got to look after yourself. So on that note, I'm going to get my skates on because I am off to meet Vibeke and Helena. And anyway, I'll see you on Instagram the next couple of days. And I may have an extra little surprise video for you tomorrow. Anyway, we shall see. And as I was saying, you never know where I'm going to pop up next. So on that note, have a fantastic Wednesday, and all I've got left to say is rah, rah, rah. Live long and prosper. May the Danish food be with you. Fantastic weather this morning, but the rain is back. We've had torrential rain, but anyway, it's all right. It's all good. I've got my new bright yellow raincoat that I got at the last clothes swap, if you saw it on Instagram, so I'm looking forward to wearing that today. And in other news, the hortensias are still blooming and I've still got lots of sweet peas. Hooray, hooray. So anyway, I shall see you very soon. Okay, bye for now.